Okay guys, so I'm sorry I'm not in class today, but to help you out today, I'd like you to, well, I've made this video for you, so do your best to follow along. If you hear any talking or any kids screaming, that's because my 3 kids are here, and even though I told them to whisper, I don't think they are going to listen, so we'll just do our best, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is turn to page 3. So page 3 is where you guys are going to do your warm-up today. And you're going to be doing warm-up number 1 and warm-up number 2. Now, we're not going to go over how to do these 3 problems, because it's 3 problems, right? 1, 2, 3 problems. But I am going to show you that the answer to number 1 is 2, -2, and the answer to number 2 is -2, 1. I will tell you that there will be a packet quiz on Friday. So the work that's in between these steps is going to be very important. So take 5 minutes to do question 1, or warm-up 1 and warm-up 2. That's been. And once you're done, we'll unpause the video and go ahead and move on to our next activity. Okay, so now that you're done with your warm-up, we're going to go ahead and do an activity here called a scavenger hunt. So go ahead and open to, let me see what page this is. 32. Go ahead and open to page 32, and you'll see a page full of spaces for vocabulary. We're going to spend some time writing down definitions for how to classify a triangle. Now here's how this activity works. For the classification, you're going to need a diagram, and you're going to need words. Okay, so here's how this works. You guys are going to be walking around the classroom. You guys are going to be walking around the classroom trying to find these words. Your job is to, you have to copy the diagram down. So if there's a picture, you have to copy it exactly as you see it. If there's 2 triangles, draw 2 triangles. If there's 1 triangle and it has labels on it, then put labels on it. So you have to copy the diagram exactly. But the words, you have choice. So there's a definition in English and there's a definition in Spanish. You can choose which one you copy, and you can trim down the definition, or you can write it exactly as you see it. So the words, you get to kind of choose what you write, but the diagram has to be exact. Now we're going to give you 10 minutes to walk around the classroom freely. Make sure that you copy down your diagram and your definition. All right, your 10 minutes start now. Okay, so probably 10 minutes have gone by, and I'm hoping that you've actually filled in this entire page. You have definitions for everything. Okay, so I want you to add something now. So I want you to make a little box that kind of goes around these words, and I'd like you to make another box that goes around these words. So these first 4 words, they describe a triangle based off of its angles. And the last 3 words, those describe a triangle based off of its sides. Now, you've got a lot of new vocabulary, and you guys know how we've been doing this. If you have vocabulary, then we practice using that vocabulary playing the blind side. All right, so let's get ready for that. Hold on. All right, so before you start moving, let's talk about how the blind side's going to work today. So, number 1, without saying anything, look around the classroom. Find the partner that you've been working with for the last couple classes. Now, if your partner is not here, or if you were absent the day that we played the blind side, here's what you guys are going to need to do. Raise your hand, and the teacher who's here is going to match you guys up in pairs. So anybody who's left over who doesn't have a partner, we're going to find a partner for you right now. Now, if it just so happens that we have one poor student who does not have a partner, so if we come down, turns out we're an odd number of students, then there will be one group of 3. Not 2, just 1. So again, if you were absent or if your partner is not here, you're going to raise your hand right now. We'll pause the video and we'll match you up. Okay. Now, the second and third thing we're going to do not until I say so, okay? So make sure you're ready. In a moment, don't do it yet, we're going to move our desks into the blind side spot. So you guys know how that is. One desk will be facing the back wall and one will be facing the front wall. Now, we don't want to move the desks too much, so do me a favor. Keep in mind that we have to put those back in place when we're done playing the blind side. So don't move the desks too much. Finally, once you've set up your desks, you're going to send one partner to pick up one whiteboard, one marker, and one eraser. Now, if for some reason we run out of markers or you don't have an eraser, if you can't find a marker, ask our teacher. And if you can't find an eraser, use one Kleenex from the back. Okay, when you're ready, we'll unpause the video and I'll tell you the rules for the blind side this activity. All right, so you've had some time to get the class the way it should look. So you guys should be facing your partner. You've been matched with them. You have a whiteboard marker, and you have an eraser. So now what? Okay, the directions for the blind side are a little bit different this time. So there are parts that are the same and parts that are added. So let's read the direction. I'm going to show a picture to you. The person who can see is going to explain that picture to the blind side. And when you're describing that picture, your job is to use the vocabulary you've learned today and new vocabulary, so old and new, so from last class and this class. Now, once you believe that you've drawn the picture correctly, you and your partner are going to take a look at the list from our previous page, on page 32, and you're going to decide what type of triangle it is. You're going to classify it, and you'll have some options of what you're going to pick. So first draw the picture, then classify it. When it's time, and I say boards up, then I'll check to see if you've written it correctly. All right, so now that you're in your spots, let's get started. So we're going to start with this essential question. Is this triangle right, obtuse, acute, or equiangular? So if you're the blind student, it's time to look the other way. And a seeing student, are you ready to describe? All right, here's your triangle. Okay, we're going to pause the video, and when we're ready to reveal what it is, we'll unpause it. All right, let's see those boards. All right, if you're a blind student, you can go ahead and check and see. All right, did they draw a good triangle? All right, you ready to know what this is? Is it acute, obtuse, right, or equiangular? This triangle is acute. Good job, guys. Okay, switch spots, and while you're switching spots, I'll get ready over here. Okay. I think I'm ready. All right, you should be in your spot, and if you're not, it's time to move. All right, here's your question. Is this an acute, right, obtuse, or equiangular triangle? All right, here you go. Draw this picture. Go ahead and pause the video and unpause when you're ready to decide or to show what type of triangle you think it is. All right, hold up those boards. Let's see how you did. Go ahead, blind people, you can turn around and see. Did you draw the triangle well? Was it described well? What type of triangle is this? Acute, right, obtuse, or equiangular? This triangle is a right triangle. It's a right triangle because it has a right angle. Okay, excellent job, guys. Switch spots, and while you're switching spots, I'll get organized. Okay, so I'm going to move this over. I'm going to move this over. Got to move this over. Okay. All right, I'm ready. You should be ready too. You should have erased your board and switched spots. All right, we're ready for our last triangle. Uh-oh. Let me get this guy so you can see it better. All right, so here's your triangle. Your job is to check to draw this triangle, describe it to your neighbor, and describe it as it is acute, right, obtuse, or equiangular. Go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so you unpause the video, you have checked and drawn your picture. The blind person checked and they looked, they decided whether or not they thought you described it well, and now let's see what type of triangle this is. Acute, right, obtuse, or equiangular. This triangle is obtuse. It's an obtuse triangle because its largest angle is an obtuse angle. Excellent job, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and switch, and we are going to draw some more triangles. So I'll get set up while you're doing that. Okay, so I'll put this back over here. You're switching spots. And we'll move up just a little bit more. All right, so you switch spots. Make sure you look up at the board. Blind people, don't look. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move our paper, but this time, when I show you this triangle, it's going to have some more details to it. Make sure that aside from drawing the diagram, that you're also labeling any points and all measurements. Okay, here is your next picture. Go ahead and draw this picture, and your job is to decide whether it is scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. Go ahead and describe it. Pause the video and unpause it when you're ready to see what type of triangle it is. Okay, so you've drawn your triangle, and now you're ready to see what type of triangle it is. Okay, blind people, you can go ahead and check, verify if you did they describe it well? What type of triangle is this one? Let's see, all side lengths are 4 centimeters. That means all the sides are the same. So this triangle is equilateral. Equilateral. All right, great job, guys. Okay, let's switch. Go ahead and switch sides, and while you switch up, I'll set myself up. Okay, are you ready? All right, here is your next triangle. Uh-oh, we have a problem. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Oh, okay, well, oh well. Go ahead and draw this triangle. Make sure you get all labels, and remember your job is to classify it as whether it is equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. All right, good luck. Go ahead and unpause the video when you're ready to see what type of triangle it is. Okay, so you drew this picture. Go ahead, blind people, go ahead and turn around and check and see if you drew it correctly. I want you to go ahead and double check a few things with me. The points should be on the outside of the triangle, and all these measurements should also be on the outside of the triangles. Okay, what type of triangle did you classify this as? Scalene, isosceles, or equilateral? If you said equilateral, you're wrong. If you said scalene, you're wrong. This is an isosceles triangle because it has 2 sides that are congruent. Okay, excellent job. Let's change sides, and while you do that, I will get organized. So go ahead and switch sides. Let's do this one. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's classify this triangle. All right, so go ahead and pause the video when you're ready to tell me what type of triangle it is. Go ahead and unpause the video and I'll tell you what type of triangle it is. All right, so you finished drawing this triangle. Go ahead and turn around, verify that you drew it correctly. This triangle has a side length of 7 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and 4 centimeters. It is a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle. Okay, excellent job, guys. So you guys did a great job of playing the blind side. I'd like you to move all the desks back to the way they were. Bring the whiteboards, the border markers, and the erasers back to where you got them from. And get ready to take some notes. Good job. All right, thank you guys for cleaning up the room so quickly. Go ahead and turn to page 34, and let's go ahead and apply those vocabulary words and your practice from the blind side now onto some practice. So on page 34, we're going to start actually with question number 2. I want to talk to you about what we're looking for here. Now you guys spent the blind side activity classifying triangles first by their angles and then later by their sides. But really, you can name a triangle by both because triangles have angles and sides. So what I'd like you to do first is to write down a classification for angles on the first line and then write a classification for the sides. So for example, for this triangle, the first line will have either acute, right, or obtuse. So choose one of those words to go here. And then on the second line, you'll describe it by its side lengths. So it'll be scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. Go ahead and take a moment and then unpause the video when you're ready, and we'll go over what you should have written on those lines. Okay, so you should have done number 2 by yourself. Let's see what you wrote. Number 2, what type of triangle is it classified by its angles? Well, it has a right angle, so that means it is a right triangle. The second triangle has all angles less than 90, so this one should have been acute. And this third one has no angles, so we'll have to write something down there. I'll tell you what we're going to write in a moment on that one. That one's a tricky one. Okay, let's talk about the sides. Now, for this triangle, it gave us angle measurements here, here, and here, but it didn't tell us the lengths. But I'm going to give you a really important piece of information right now. If the angles are not the same, which they're not, 40, 50, and 90, then that also means that the side lengths are not the same. So if none of the side lengths are the same, if none of the angles are the same, then none of the side lengths are the same. That means these, even though we don't know what their lengths are, we know they're not the same. So this is a right scalene triangle. The second triangle is an acute triangle. Are any of these angles the same? Nope, none of the angles are the same. So that means none of the sides are the same. Now for our last triangle, these lines here are telling us something about the lengths. Now if they all had one line, then we could say they were all the same. But it's saying that this side is congruent to lines with 1 hash mark. This one decides with 2, and this with 3. That means the side lengths are all different. So this is definitely also a scalene triangle. But here's where we can't really assume much about the angles. There isn't a name for a triangle that has angles that are different measurements. It could be right, it could be acute, it could also be obtuse. All 3 of those types of angle measurements could still have side lengths that are scalene. So there's not enough information for us to classify it by its angles. So for this one, we would only write scalene. All right, now let's go ahead and work on number 3. Now I'm going to do number 3 as your notes, and you guys are going to do number 4 by yourselves. So let's go ahead and read number 3. For number 3 and 4, we're talking about classifying triangles by their side lengths. Here's what it says. Find the measure of angle Y. Then it says find the measure of AB and AC, AB and AC, and then classify the triangle. Okay, the first thing I notice is that it has these lines here. Now that means that this side AB, is equal to side AC. AB is equal to side AC. Well, that kind of tells us something. Side AB is 7y. And that should be equal to side AC. Well, AC is y plus 12. Y plus 12. hey, this means that we have an equation where we're on our way to finding y. All right, let's collect all the y's on the left. That means the 7y is going to stay, but the y on this side's got to go. So they're adding y, so I'm going to subtract y from both sides. When I do that, I get 6y equals 12. They're multiplying by 6, so I'll divide by 6. So what's y equal? 2. Excellent. We've already completed our first step. We found y. All right, now the next thing they asked us to do was find AB. So AB is 7y. 7 times y. Wait. If y is 2, can't we find this length? Sure we can. It would just be 7 times y. What's that? 14. All right. That means side AB is 14. And you know what? If I know this side, I know this side. That's why these lines are here. This side is equal to this side. If this is 14, what's this one? It's got to be 14 too. Now if you want to go the long way, you can. Y is 2, right? Plug it in. 2 plus 12 is, yep, you got it, 14. All right, so that means that we found our last measurement. Now let's classify the triangle. This triangle came to us with 2 sides equal to each other. Is that still true? 14, 14, and 36. What type of triangle is this? Scalene, isosceles, or equilateral? You're right. This is an isosceles triangle. That's right, Ben. It's an isosceles triangle. All right. Great job, guys. Let's go ahead and apply this. Okay, Ben. Here we go. Number 4. Okay, so I'm going to read number 4 to you and put some information on this picture for you. And then you guys are going to go ahead and follow the same steps we did on the previous example. So here's what it says. In triangle RST, segment RS is congruent to segment TS. They're saying this length is equal to that length. What do they want us to do? Find X, the side length of ST, the side length of RS, and tell me what type of triangle it is. Go ahead and pause the video and unpause the video when you're ready to tell me what type of triangle it is. All right, so you had some time to try this problem. Let's see how you did. Okay, so RS is equal to TS. So that means that 2x plus 6 is equal to 4x plus 2. So if I collect my x terms on the left, I would get negative 2x plus 6 equals 2. If I subtract 6 from both sides, I get negative 2x equals negative 4. Then if I divide by, this is getting kind of big. If I divide by negative 2, on both sides, I get x equals 2. I think I'll collect my info over here. So x equals negative 2. I need to find RS. I need to find ST. And then I need to say what type of triangle it is. Okay. So did you guys get x equals 2? I hope so. All right. Now they're asking for RS. RS is 2. X is 2. I don't know why I put negative 2. RS is 2 times x plus 6. 2 times x plus 6. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 6 is 10. That means that RS is 10. Now you can do the math over here by plugging in a 2, or you can just know that this side is equal to that side. If this side is 10, what's this side? It's 10. So side ST is 10, side RS is 10. And now I'm asking, what type of triangle is it? This came to us as an isosceles triangle. This side was equal to this side. Is it still an isosceles triangle? Well, I hope you're saying no. I hope you say no because this side is 10, this side is 10, and the third side is 10. All the lengths of the sides are 10. What type of triangle is that? Equilateral. Excellent work, guys. I think I spelled it equilateral. There we go, equilateral. All right, great job, guys. Now let's get into some independent practice. All right, the next page is page 35, and this is actually your homework assignment for tonight. Now, since I am not there today, and I know that you guys are going to have a little bit of extra time, I'd like you to just kind of note that page 35 is your homework. And when you finish, we have a couple more slides to do. When you finish all of the slides, you guys are going to come back to page 35, and you'll quickly finish this. This is your homework assignment. Just a reminder again, Friday is your packet quiz, so make sure you do this assignment.